This is something I thought I wanted to, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I said, this is something that I would like to touch base on, because I've had there's a lady in Texas, just lost her cat, and she had heard me mention about Bubby. And I had to have him cremated because I couldn't dig a hole big enough to bury him in. He was like a 75-pound black lab, 15 years old. And this is what's left of my boy. This is what's left of my boy. This is actually Chico's collar. He was the Chihuahua. They were the same age, and they grew up together. And one was like 9 pounds, one was 75, but the 9-pound bossed the 75-pound around. But Bubba was, I got his paw print, see? And in here is a lock of his hair and his ashes. And, so when he got sick, he never had to go to the vet a day in his life, hardly, ever. He got in a fight one time and had to have his legs sewed up. And then he had belly trouble one time. He had to go to the vet. Other than that in 15 years, and that's the only times I can recall Bub ever going to the vet, because I didn't have the money back then. I was a single mom, you know. Lord, there was 2 dogs, probably 4 or 5 cats back then. Anything she could drag in. You know, and, you know, it's all good. So Bub, in about the last 10 months of his life, before he passed, he was having trouble. And probably in the last 10 months of his life, it was probably about $2,000. And he had a tumor. And finally that tumor pressed on his spine and he couldn't get up. He was laying there on I got him one of them $100 dog beds. And I had my mattress on the floor, so I just had us right beside each other there. It was perfect, you know, for us. And I was having a real bad time with my mobility that night, and he just paced up and down the hallway because we were at the store. And he just paced back and forth, and then he laid down and he never got back up. And after after, you know, a day and him not getting up, not eating or drinking, I started calling to try to find a mobile. One of the veterinarians, not a mobile, but one of the veterinarians, when they come down to the store on Main Street and help him, because I couldn't lift him. And he was rheumatoid too. So I was really in a conundrum, you know. And one about laughed at me. The other one, the other one were very nice, but no, they didn't do that. And finally, somebody called me back. And now in Abingdon, Virginia, we have a mobile veterinarian. And her name was Hillary Johnston, I think. And anyway, so she came right to the store. She just walked in and sat down beside of me on the bed. And he just thought it was one of Mom's friends or customers. He never knowed what hit him. He stayed right there on his bed. And he was glad. She's a pretty girl, sweet talking. He's glad, you know, when she walked in, she had a wonderful air about her. And so the only thing he knowed was the little prick. And just, she gave him a shot back here. And I said, B stung you, didn't it, Bubby? And I just scratched it. Within just a few moments, he went to sleep. And he started snoring. And then she gave him the shot. And then he was gone. And she put him in a stretcher and she rolled him down the hallway and out the front door, put him in the back of her truck, and took him to the crematorium. And then now, they, there was different prices. There was, if she had just come there to diagnose him, or if she had just come there, to put him to sleep and then I bury him. Or at the crematorium, you could get, I could have had him cremated with other animals all at the same time and then got the ashes back. But it wouldn't have been just his, and I just wanted his. I had him 15 years, I just wanted him, and I've got him. And, but like a cat, if you just want their ashes, you can just get their ashes, or I'm sure they could put 30 cats in there at one time and save you a lot of money that way, is what I'm saying. It costed more to have to fire up that oven for Bub. And I listen, when it comes to God, Jesus, and heaven, if I want to understand something, I usually go and I listen to Phil Robertson, Whites Ferry Road Church in West Monroe, Louisiana. And I remember one time he was talking, it didn't matter whether you got cremated or whether you went in the ground. It's no preference or anything like that for what I was to understand on the podcast that day, and I just remembered that kind of muscle memory, remembered it, and it was the best I could do. And he's with me, and sometimes I still feel him. I do. Sometimes I find a hair. Lord, he shed terrible. He was so spoilt to death. I didn't put no mascara on, and it ain't aggravating as bad today. So, I wish I could. I look better when I put mascara on, but it's just my eyes have just been watering so bad. And they're dry. Don't make no sense, but another symptom of rheumatoid. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about that. So there's different fees. And for the whole kit and caboodle for Bubby was $491. Now, like I said, if I had let him be cremated with other dogs, I got his paw prints. That was more money. But I think you could bring it in from, if you just needed a simple service like that, $100, $200. But I had to have the whole thing. He was a big dog. And, so I did a video about it on Facebook and told my friends, because sometimes I do videos on flower arranging and, just to talk to people, not to make any money on Facebook. Now, YouTube is money, and I'm excited about that. I'm like, wow, as soon as I can get monetized, that's great. Whatever you would get would be pennies from heaven, but, I told everybody about it, and I had people come through asking me about it, messaging me, hey, Mitzi, who did you use for Bubby? Do you have that number? And so, and the lady in Texas was, bless her heart, I think she had had her cat 13 years, she said, and it just passed away. And there she was needing to do something with it. What a conundrum and a big old ice storm, So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to end this video right here, and I will come back. And but I'm going to, about the pet cremation, and to be honest with you, it was pretty sad to lose Bub. It was life-changing. It was life-altering. He was my companion. He was the peacekeeper. He would defend me. I always said if I went somewhere selling, I didn't need a gun. I had Bubba when he was young. When he got older, I looked out after him. But They can't live as long as we do. And you can't let them suffer. I would never let Bubby lay there dehydrated and in agony and misery until he died, unless I had to. If there was any way I could do something about it, that was, to me, peaceful. Peace. Mercy. It's hard to talk about. I haven't cried because I just... what I'm saying to you. I mean, it's a loss. But if God takes dogs into heaven, which I'm sure he does, they're his too. I know Bubby is up there on the streets of gold. And it's a little bit rainy. It's mist in the air. And he's sitting there with the dew and the mist on his coat, and he's just sniffing. Sitting there. Picking up every scent of everything around. Being a dog. So I'll see him again. I thank you. I love you. God bless you.